newest movie review, and apparently we're going to be talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, which came out in 1981.
Before Emily did.
Before you did.
Barely.
Anyway.
That's funny. It's filmed at the same time as Empire Strikes Back.
So is it true that there's a scene in Empire Strikes Back where he has the whip?
He is wearing the Indiana Jones whip on his hip while he's talking to Chewie up on top of the Millennium Falcon while they're evacuating Echo Base.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that's a little gem to look for.
Well, they're filming on sound stages that were next door to each other.
Yeah, so that he could
a lot easier.
film both kind of simultaneously.
So they can make more money.
Yeah. Anyhow, want to give the synopsis of the movie?
I don't. Kids watched it yesterday, so
That was Temple of Doom, and I didn't watch it.
that's not my problem.
I heard
Okay.
Your turn.
I don't remember it.
So you're introduced to Indiana Jones. In what way? How do you meet him in the movie?
He is in a jungle. He's not in a jungle. He's
Not in the jungle, he's in Venice.
temple, I think.
Who's in the jungle?
He's
See,
definitely.
this is why I
He's in a
haven't seen this movie in a very
like
long
an
time.
ancient
Yeah, he
temple
goes
that's
to an
inside
ancient
of it.
temple. He's being hunted by the natives. And he has his friend there who abandons him. And
When
the other
he
friend
gets
gets
lost,
killed.
and then he
Don't
gets
talk over each other.
and then he gets stabbed with the spikes right next to the skeleton.
That's gross.
Yeah, that happens a
Oh, that's
lot.
cool.
And then the giant boulder.
Yeah, that's when the giant boulder comes. He loses the
Is it the you take the thing and you put the weight?
Yeah.
I
Put the
think
gum
so.
on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't heavy enough.
So obviously all of the Indiana Jones movies, especially the earlier ones, kind of spawned a lot of that, like you see there's even like Temple Run, like a cell phone game that's purely you're running from a boulder that's coming at you.
Or a board game.
Horrible
Yeah,
board
you're running
yeah.
from a bad guy.
You're
Or
running
it's
into
so
a giant
big.
monkey.
Yeah.
Giant 8
The-
7. And you're dead.
The point is, a lot of those things that they did in these films, specifically this one, kind of became a
Treasure hunting.
no, just like a staple, maybe kind of treasure hunting, but like
It's the general theme of movies.
yeah, an expected. Hey, you're gonna go into the, even the Rundown with Dwayne Johnson has elements of the same treasure hunting sort of booby trap sort of business. I don't know.
There's a refrigerator.
Another.
Anyway,
That's not important.
So,
Right there.
what?
To this one.
Stop, please. What are your favorite things, or what is your favorite thing about the movie?
Mom gets to go first. I guess.
You guys watched it most recently.
I really like how Indy deals with the problems. It's very creative, and I also appreciate his strong dislike of snakes. So
It's a rope.
It's a rope. Is that in the first one?
that's not in the
No,
first
it's the
one.
fourth one.
That's
Oh man. Okay.
That is pretty good.
I like that he has the whip. And I still want to get my own whip.
We still don't have a storyline. What's the storyline?
The story.
Indiana Jones is an archaeologist, and he teaches at a college.
And he goes to find the Ark of the Covenant. And then everybody dies.
He's racing against
Almost everybody dies.
he's racing against the Nazis so they can find the Ark of the Covenant and help his friend.
What is his friend's goal?
I don't remember.
Ravenwood is already dead.
Help his friend's daughter try and find the Ark. So yes.
And make Mutt.
Oh,
They're intending to keep the Nazis from getting a devastating weapon.
Yeah.
Which, as Liz pointed out multiple times, wouldn't necessarily work for the Nazis.
Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant wouldn't exactly be the most amazing weapon.
Okay, so is there anything realistic about this movie?
Yes.
Everybody dies when they open the ark. If they were looking at the ark that was open.
Okay, that's not realistic. Not in the least bit.
It has the pieces of the stone tablets that were broken inside.
Yeah, they weren't broken when they went in it.
No, they weren't.
They were intact,
But it has them.
It's the second set of the Ten Commandments that's inside the ark.
as well as the Aaron's rod or staff.
He had the thingy, I don't remember what it's called, with the 12 stones.
The Urim and the Thummim.
The
The breastplate of the high priest.
Yeah. So there are some accurate depictions about the history surrounding the ark and the high priest's garments and all of that.
I'm curious what you guys think happened to the Ark of the Covenant. I don't know.
We can sort of talk about that in a little bit, maybe.
Speculation.
Speculate.
Okay, it's accurate that the Nazis were looking for weapons that were esoteric, shall we say, not
Esoteric.
scientific, like cultic.
Yeah.
Occult thingies.
So things like the ark would have been something they would probably be searching for, which they actually did search for the ark. So that is realistic. But there's nothing anywhere recorded that would make you think that opening the ark and seeing what's inside is going to kill anyone.
They
It doesn't work
burned
out.
Bibles.
I-
Nazis did.
I would think
Yes, they did.
touching the ark could still kill you because that is biblically recorded that
Yes, touching the ark is guaranteed to kill you. It killed
So-
everyone since it was occupied by God.
if you tried to open it, you would have to touch it.
You can use a stick.
Yeah.
It would be a really
no
heavy
latch.
lid though.
You've got a
made of
point. Just use
gold.
something long.
It's
Oh,
not
touch it.
made of gold, it's covered in gold.
Covered in.
Mm-hmm.
With the-
It's made out of cypress.
It's not like
Cedar.
gold.
Really, really, really heavy wood.
Yeah, it's not that heavy.
For the amount of gold it's covered in that would make it heavy.
The fact of how big it is, that makes it heavy. It's over 6 foot long.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
impressive.
The ark that they show in the movie,
Is not
It's a bit
the actual
small.
size.
small. Although, again, they did kind of try and depict it properly based on,
It has cherub on it, but doesn't have a mercy seat on it, which it would need.
yeah. I don't know, maybe they felt like they needed to not have it be too accurate,
Or they
to
just
be respectful.
had poor prop makers. It's obviously not made out of real wood.
That's styrofoam. Spray painted gold.
Kind of like the special effects, they're not up to par for today.
Yeah.
Those special effects were amazing.
They were. Not really anymore.
I guess for 41 years ago they were okay, but they weren't exactly terrifying when I saw it the first time about 37 years ago.
It wasn't fantastic graphics or, I guess, special effects.
Oh, but it's so
But-
cool, and they all started like melting at the end.
That's
The
gross.
guy melting's pretty cool.
It has a much better, much more thought out storyline than a lot of movies nowadays have that.
Yes.
Okay,
So
so
Steven Spielberg at his best.
Exactly.
I think Leia was the only one that said what she liked the most.
No, Lenny said her whip.
Did you say anything
What
like
did you say? Oh, the whip, that's right.
And I still want to get a whip. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's why we got off track.
A lump, what do you call it? Cow that's getting whipped.
Do I want to know the answer to that?
Whipped cream.
That okay.
She's not been a stupid
Bella.
joke quick.
She has been.
They have
years.
whipped cream in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, can we
All
let Bella answer, please?
I like that Indiana Jones is both a teacher and he's, treasure hunter archaeologist.
At the same time. It's kind of like Superman and Clark Kent.
Except way better because
It's way better.
he gets to have
He gets rich. And
He gets-
But
He
he
never
doesn't
actually
really
makes
get
any money.
rich.
he gets
He gets
He
a lot
tries.
of money
Fame.
from the museum, actually.
What he doesn't, the university's department does.
That's
gets in a lot of
That's
danger.
what bankrolls the department. So obviously Indiana Jones was responsible for probably thousands of people going into anthropology and universities and then find out that it's nothing like the movies.
It's much more like the beginning of the movie where he's sitting in the classroom teaching about it,
Boring.
and everyone's like,
It would
bored
be
out of their
fun to
mind.
be a treasure
It's
hunter, though.
actually a bunch of young ladies.
Girls that are staring at me.
Yeah.
Okay, Emily doesn't mean.
He's so handsome. No.
I don't swoon on cues, sorry.
She does uncontrollably.
And she seems to agree with that statement.
Exactly.
No.
Okay, so what thing did you not like about the movie?
Snakes.
Snakes.
What about snakes?
Them being in existence in the movie.
Them being in existence, period. At all.
Actually, I like that.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Why did it have to be
The snakes are a lot better than the bugs later on.
That's true.
I don't think they're better.
No.
You want a centipede crawling on you?
They just really like that creepy factor in the
It adds.
like,
It adds to them.
It does add to them, but
but they're creepy.
It's disgusting.
Creepy crawly.
But they add to the movie.
Yeah, they add snakes to the movie.
Alright, love,
Yeah.
parental overview.
Okay, so obviously these three are no longer midgets. When I watched it, I was like this tall probably the first time. And I'm sure I had no idea what was going on most of the time. But I also have no doubt that at the end when the guys start melting, I would have screamed. So that's pretty awesome, but that's disturbing to little kids. So
I've never actually screamed at anything.
yeah, all the time. So little kids definitely should not watch the end.
You
They can cover their eyes there and then listen to them scream. That's pretty good.
No, that's still potentially
not.
They'll
not
watch
a
like
good
this,
idea.
like good little kids.
And then have nightmares.
There's nothing wrong
That
with
their
that.
face
Don't
is
get
So-
over it.
big.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's probably not the best as far as for little kids.
It's like he's Red Skull.
Just because the
Exactly.
violence factor, it's kind of
But he
disturbing
came
imagery.
before Red Skull, didn't he?
It's not really violence, it's more them melting because of the pure awesomeness of the art.
Because I don't think there is any violence.
Oh, the Lord.
No,
Well, people
there
get
is.
shot.
There's some fighting.
The one dude burns
That's
his
no
hand on the
Oh.
medallion, and that's
That's
how
not
they get
violence.
the
That's
copy
fun.
for the headpiece of rock.
They were gonna torture the lady. I don't remember her name.
Aren't there rats?
Mary-
Are there rats?
Yes, there are rats.
I thought there were rats in the third.
There are rabbits.
Where's Dad comes in?
There's rats all over the place. Rats are your friend.
But they were.
Good for exploring.
Mhm.
Okay, so what about little kids?
I just said I don't think the movie was
Is there any language?
certainly not intended for little kids.
I think there's some. I don't remember.
About the same as Barney?
There's,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, even a lot of 80s movies.
There's
Especially 80s movies.
there's suggestive material.
Yeah. And
There's
drinking
that.
More than
alcohol.
Okay, so there's alcohol, some
Smoking.
smoking,
She
and
drinks.
implications of relationships, I guess.
Definitely is in the fourth one.
Well, obviously he has a kid.
Yeah.
So does she.
Anyway, I think, was it rated PG-13?
I think PG.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
PG.
Yeah,
but it might be PG.
PG,
It should be
I think
PG.
would fit. It just, again, you want to keep an eye on like the
Little kids.
little
Yeah.
kids, the young kids, because there is some disturbing imagery, and again, they're taking some of the history that's true that we know and kind of extrapolating off of that to make the story that's not very historically accurate.
Which is where they have artistic license for their stories.
But it was a pretty
But it
fantastic.
could have been historically accurate because the Ark is nowhere to be seen.
That's
He's
true.
got
It may be in Area 51
You
That
never know.
actually wouldn't be all that surprising that it were an area.
with the Crystal Skull aliens.
That
Can't
would
forget the
have
aliens.
travelers from the
Hey, the aliens don't come in
Who
for
brought
a
it there because
And
they
Elvis.
found it.
Yeah, Elvis.
Okay,
As well as the actual ark.
tangent.
And Howard the Duck.
How
Michael
about,
Jackson.
honey,
Yes.
how about you give us a
The Russian
brief,
puppet.
everyone not talking, so Daddy can give a brief rundown about what we do know historically and biblically about the ark and where it's at. Probably.
Okay, the Ark is not in the U.S. Probably. When was the last time the Ark was seen officially?
Sometime a long time ago, before we were all born.
Wow, that's
Well,
amazing.
Somewhere in Egypt.
No.
Not Egypt, in Israel.
Not where, when.
I have no idea.
Last
was
time
working
that
on
I
it.
can think of at the current moment is when it's sent back from the Philistines
That's fascinating.
after they take it.
No.
That's the
The
last
Ark
thing.
was last seen when the temple was ransacked in 586 BC when Jerusalem fell to the Babylonians.
Yeah, captivity in Babylon.
And so they took everything that had gold in it back to Babylon. So was the Ark taken? We don't know. It probably was not, because that would be a big deal for them to be able to say that they'd taken it.
Mhm.
And we would probably
And
know.
they would have been.
Like, oh, we
They
did
would
this
know
one.
because we would have had lots of people that died from it and stuff. And they would have made a big deal about having it.
A very big deal.
So there is a church in eastern Somalia that claims that they have it in the basement. And no one is allowed to go into the church to see it. That is white. So there was one guy in the mid-90s that went in there and he was sworn to secrecy about what he saw.
Oh,
So more than likely the Ark is actually in Somalia at this point, which would make sense because that's where King Solomon's wines were at.
Yeah.
So it could have been evacuated there and be kept there. We don't know. Is the Ark of any importance today?
historical importance. But
I think it's
Spiritual?
biblically important and historically important, but it's not something that God no longer has, I guess, a need for it, because the Holy Spirit indwells those who are Christians.
it would be cool to get to see it then. And now I kind of want to do a raid on the church in Somalia so we can get it every Saturday. Yes.
Okay, so the issue there is what is necessary for the temple to be officially licensed as being the temple.
The Ark of the Covenant.
They need the Ark of the Covenant.
So it will be found again for end times when they rebuild the ark. or rebuild it.
Prophetically, yes, it should be recovered and returned to the temple in order for the temple to be consecrated for the end times.
I hadn't realized that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's why the Jews don't consider Herod's temple to be the real temples, because it never had the Ark in it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard people say the Ark was destroyed. It could be, but the temple can never be consecrated again without having the Ark. So more than likely, the Ark will be returned at some point.
And along with it, the
Stone tablets and Aaron's staff.
the attire that the high priest was supposed to wear, which included the tablet with 12 stones, one for each
Tribe
of the
Israel.
tribes.
Which would be worth billions of dollars.
Because they were big stones,
They're big
they weren't like little gemstones.
Well, they're semi-precious and not like diamonds, emeralds, rubies, stuff like that. But you get a jasper that's that big around, that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, it's made of gold.
Also be
Well, and-
painful if it hit you.
It'd be heavy.
Yes, it'd be very heavy, and they wouldn't hit people with it because they'd break it.
Yeah.
Plus, it would be very.
Fragile.
Okay, anything else about the movie?
It's very
Alright.
interesting.
There are a lot of Nazis.
Okay, is there anything bad about the movie?
Snake.
Also Nazis and snakes.
But the
And
Nazis
snake
are awesome.
Nazis.
There are no snake Nazis.
Nazi snakes.
Sand.
Just like there aren't any snake clowns.
Okay, that sounds like a no. What is your recommendation on the movie?
Out of, I guess, 5,
Five. Only
out
got 4
of
fingers.
5 gingers, I
Oh.
would say, and I don't even count myself really as a ginger, but anyway,
Because ginger's
Oh.
insulting.
no, ginger is like light red.
You're more Mary
yours
Ann
not
anyway.
light red.
Mine isn't really either.
Anyway, I would say probably a 3 or a 4 out of 5.
I would say a 4 for sure.
I don't know what the rating system is, so.
1 out
cares?
of 5.
1 out of 5.
How many?
Oh,
I
would
would
give
give
it
it 4 out of
1
5.
being the lowest.
5 being the best, 1 being
Why
the
not out
lowest.
of 5 Ghirardelli peppermint barks? Because those taste
Because we
good.
get copyrighted.
Not sponsored.
Not
But
sponsored.
it should be.
No sponsors.
I don't think.
Ghirardelli would not sponsor us.
Why not?
Okay.
I got peppermint bark right here.
Because
He's
like
got
nobody has any idea who we are yet.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
the peppermint bark.
That's harsh, Lenny.
Okay, so apparently that's a yes. We might recommend it. I can't really tell.
It'd be a 5.
Yes, it's a 4
Just
out
not
of
for little
5.
kids. If you're an adult, watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Great
scary.
Not the least
If you're a
bit.
teenager, it'll only give you nightmares for a few days. So.
It shouldn't give you nightmares at all.
You'll be
All right. Thank you so much for bearing with us and watching. Let us know your favorite part of the movie, maybe your favorite character, and any thoughts or questions you have. Nathan does have his degree in anthropology, so the Indiana Jones series is kind of near and dear to his heart. He wanted to be an Egyptologist, and then he found out there are bugs in Egypt, and he said no thanks.
Anthropology would be interesting.
Anyhow, again, thank you for tuning in, and we will talk with you soon.